Good afternoon, everybody. So, today I want to speak about your circle, my circle, our circles. I want us to think about what the people we surround ourselves with bring to our lives. Do they add to our lives spiritually? Do they add to our lives mentally, emotionally, physically? How does the people we surround ourselves with impact our lives? So I feel this is a time for us to take inventory and take stock of who we have in our lives. And, when people do spring cleaning in September, they get rid of unwanted things or things they've been hoarding, things that they know are not adding value, but they just feel, let's hold on to it. I might need it later on. And I think with friendships and acquaintances, the same principle applies. I think we need to take stock and inventory of who we surround ourselves with and what these people bring to our lives. So I have a circle of friends. We call ourselves the besties. We used to be 5, but a couple of years ago, God called one of the besties home. And now the 4 of us try to get together on a regular basis. We used to do girls' weekends. I remember our first girls' weekend. And I watched pictures of the first girls' weekend a couple of weeks ago. And it was ridiculously funny. And when we used to do the girls' weekends, it was just about, getting together, really catching up with one another. And prayer was the by the way thing. So the intent of this whole girls' weekend used to be to just recharge our batteries and just vent and just sit and chat and sleep and swim. And those who indulged in an alcoholic beverage would have a couple of sips of whatever it is that they brought with to have. Our most recent bestie weekend was the weekend of the 1st of February this year. And it was a completely different weekend to all of the others that we've had before. We started our weekend with prayer. And the prayer was that we would be able to connect with God over the weekend, and that we would be able to speak freely to those we trust about the things that were bothering us, that we couldn't speak to anybody else about, that we were even fearful to speak to God about. But also during that weekend, God intervened, and we didn't just speak to one another, we spoke to Him as well. And we realized how all 4 of us have grown in our faith, especially since the one bestie was called home. So we know we can trust one another with everything. And we know that we pray for one another's families on the daily. Like I said to you, my secret place is here. So when my spirit is urged to pray, when I get that feeling of you need to pray and you need to pray for something specifically, I immediately go to my secret place and I pray. And that is what the rest of the besties does as well. The one always has dreams, and I think that she was blessed with the ability to dream and to forewarn people of things that might happen in their lives. So my circle is a circle of women who pray for me We pray for one another as individuals by name. We pray for our families by name and individually. We pray for our communities as a whole. We pray for our extended families. We pray for our government. We pray for so many things. And we know that God listens. And once we've prayed, we sit and we wait. Remember? The time of waiting is where the tests happen. So those are the types of people that I surround myself with. I don't want to say thrown people out or thrown people away, but I have started excluding people from my circle that brings sin or that leads me to sinful thoughts or wanting to do sinful actions. So the one big issue that I've had all of the years, I used to swear like a sailor, and thank God has saved me from that. But it doesn't mean that the enemy is not using that fact to try to lead me into sin. So he will bring people across my path that will anger me to the point where I feel I want to swear. And I don't know if any of you has watched the Madea movie. I think it was one of those Halloween ones where she's in the church and she says the cussing spirit wants to come out and she has to swallow it back and like that. And that is how I feel sometimes. But because I'm conscious of the fact that Lucifer will use this, his demons will use this to get me to be sinful, I am aware of how I react. And that is where my spirit of discernment comes in. I am aware of how, what my triggers are and how I need to react not to be sinful. So surround yourself with people that bring out the good. Surround yourself with people who can add positivity, and try to influence those who are negative to become positive through praying for them. You need to pray more for the person you dislike than you pray for the person that you like, because it's easy to pray for somebody that you like and love. It's very difficult for somebody to pray for somebody that you do not like. But those are the people that we need to pray for more often and more fervently. So with that, that is me for today. Have a blessed day.